situation here fixed up. Oh, I forgot my iPad. Good grief. I am like out of it today. Got the iPad. Now I need to figure out how to get to my live so that I can see myself also. Oh, and this thing is so old and so slow. It's crazy. So is anybody out there? Definitely leave me a comment and let me know if you can see me, because I hope so. I think I put it on public. So, oh, come on. This iPad is so old and so slow. It's just absolutely ridiculous. It takes forever for it to like scroll through. Oh, there's Kathy and Sandra. Yay. Okay. So that tells me that I am live and it's working like it's supposed to be. So that's good. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. Here we go. Just about got this iPad set up. How is everyone's weather? We've had a little more snow, which we are very happy to have. I am not going to be mad about getting some snow. So yeah, not mad about that at all. All right, I've been live for a minute and a half and my iPad still is not caught up. Do you think I need to get a new one? I think that I do. I also probably could, what does that mean? I tell you, these different things are always different. You know, every time you open up some kind of a website or you do anything on your computer, it's like the powers that be change everything. And I don't understand why everything needs to be changed all the time. Well, I guess it feels like it's all the time. I'm sure like this thing changes and that thing changes. And then this first thing doesn't change for quite a while, but it's just like constantly things are changing and it is super annoying. Okay. I can see all of your comments. So it tells me I'm live and I've just got to do that. And there I am. Yay. Okay. Thank you guys for your patience. I appreciate that. Sometimes it just takes a village sometimes to get all this stuff figured out. And the village is me. I have no village. I have myself. That's all it is. Gosh, I feel like I look naked with this stupid shirt on. I hate V-neck shirts, honestly, but I need to do laundry. And so this shirt was one that wasn't dirty. And it is a V-neck, and V-necks always make me feel like I'm naked, and I don't like that feeling at all. So I prefer a crew neck, or what do you call that? A t-shirt neck or whatever. Anyway, so yeah. So let's see what's exciting in my world. Not a whole lot. My son got his W-2 finally from his employer, which I believe is late. And so I'll be doing his taxes soon. Hopefully he'll get his money back, because isn't that always what we're always looking for, right? To get our money back. And so hopefully he will. What else? Gosh, literally, we are just the most boring people, which again, knock on something, because boring is good, but it doesn't leave for much interesting talk when you're on a live. When you have nothing to talk about, what do you talk about? I guess here's one tiny little thing that's not probably exciting and nobody's going to care. But my husband and I, in the evening, we watch TV, like I'm sure lots of you guys do. And so it's always a struggle to find something to, oh, hold on, Lisa, I'll get to that in just a second. It's always a struggle to find something to watch. So we like to watch long seasons, like shows that have multiple seasons, because we like to get invested in the characters, and we like that a lot. So we just finished NYPD Blue. For those of you that don't know, my husband is in law enforcement, and so he likes cop shows. So we decided to start watching NYPD Blue, and I can't remember when we started, maybe September, October, I don't remember. Anyway, and so we watch a few episodes every night. Well, we watched the very last one last night, season 12, episode 20. So we've been watching this show for quite a while. And we both did watch it when we were younger, when it was on television. I think it was on like Tuesday nights or something. So we finished that. So then we needed to find something new to watch. So it's like, oh my gosh, what are we going to watch? I recommended CSI Miami. He kind of put up his nose, which I was kind of surprised about. So we decided to start watching the Orville, which I think is kind of a takeoff of Star Trek in a sense. And so We watched a couple episodes of the Orville last night, and they were okay. They're kind of funny. We kind of like the Star Trekky kind of thing, so we'll see how it works for us. Lisa was asking about my son's eye. It actually just fixed itself. So he had gotten a piece of metal in his eye. He waited a couple of days like a dum-dum to go to the eye doctor. He finally did. The guy took the metal piece out, and then his eye seemed like it was getting worse rather than better. So I don't know if that was just like a residual effect of your eyes, like, oh, yay, this thing is out of here. Now we can heal. And the healing process just was weird. So he didn't go back to the doctor because he's a Mulligan man, and that's not what they do. But yeah, it fixed itself. It's good, and he's great. So thanks for asking, Lisa. I appreciate that. So Francie says she's watching Heartland. I feel like Heartland might be too tame for him. He kind of likes the action and, yeah, action. So if you guys know what NYPD Blue is, there's some action and there's like some suspense and some mystery, who done it kind of thing. So, but I'll mention it to him. I'll mention that to him. Francie, thanks for the suggestion, but I don't know as though it's going to be something for him. I might enjoy it, but I don't think he would. Trish says she loves the Orville. Okay, good, because I think there's 3 seasons, and of course those kind of the newer TV shows that they don't have very many episodes in the seasons. Have you guys noticed that? You're lucky if there's like 12. And so we really enjoy TV shows from way back when they were on every week on regular TV, and they had to do the entire season, and there was like 20, 24 episodes. So we really like that. So that NYPD Blue definitely had I think there was like 240 total episodes. So that's a lot. And of course you get invested with the characters, and some leave and then new ones come in and they leave and yada yada whatever, but it was pretty good. So yes, thank you. Night Agent on Netflix. I have never heard of that, but I will definitely do some research on it and see if that might be something that he'd be interested in, because I really don't care what we watch. I don't care at all. I'm only really there to work and sometimes fall asleep. So I normally will work on my computer, or I will do swap cards, or like right now for the retreat that we're doing, the Wildflower Celebrations retreat that's coming up at the end of this month. We are making lots of fun gifts for you guys that are going to go into the swag box. And so I've been spending my evenings watching TV and making the gifts. So that's been really fun. I love making gifts. I love having stamping projects to work on is what I really like. And I don't always have stamping projects to work on, because a lot of times I have to do computer work, which is boring and I don't like it. But yeah, so I've been making some really cute things for you guys. So I know you're going to love them. Anyway, I guess that's really it. Let's see. Nancy says there's snow in Washington. And then Trish says, yeah, and we have to wait so long for a new season. Before on TV, they would start in the fall, and then they'd probably take a little bit of a break over Christmas because nobody wanted to work over Christmas. And then they would end like in the spring. And then you only had to wait those few months in the summertime before your favorite show came back again. But now it's like a year or even longer. Like, I'm kind of a really big fan of Wednesday, that show on Netflix with Jenna Ortega. I've watched it, I don't know, probably 6 or 7 times because I just really, really like it. And who knows when they're going to have a new, I think it came out in 2023, like November of 2023. And I don't think it's going to be, season 2 isn't going to be ready until like later this year or into 2026. So yeah, we have to wait a long time for seasons of our new shows to come back. So it's, so you got to find something else to watch in the meantime, right? Anywho, I recommended that we watch Who's the Boss. Do you guys remember that show with Tony Danza and I think her name, Judith Light? Is that her name? Anyway, yeah, so I recommended we watch that because I remember it was pretty funny. So yeah, but we'll see what happens. All right, everyone, I am going to flip the camera and we're going to do a little chit-chatting, and then we're going to stamp some really cute cards using the With You in Mind stamp set and the Everyday Arches dies. That's what I'm trying to say, the dies. All right, let me get my camera switched out here. We got to get it in its holder, and then I have to make sure that it's level and all that good stuff. Francie says she loved Who's the Boss. I did too, and I remember it being pretty dang funny. And so I really would like to start watching that. But I mean, he wants to watch the Orville. That's fine. Like I said, I don't care what we watch because I'm half paying attention anyway, right? So it doesn't matter to me. All right, I got to get my glasses on. I have to get my hair clipped back because it hangs in my face and drives me crazy. Okay, so first things first, those of you that ordered between last Thursday and yesterday are going to get a kit to make all my fabulous butterfly, beautiful butterfly cards that I created for you last week. Look how fun these are. Yes, if you missed out, I'm sorry, but you can make them yourself. I do have the live video is obviously always on my YouTube channel, so you can definitely make them yourself if you didn't get a kit. And then this week's kit will be through next Wednesday, which I believe is the 12th of February. And yeah, so I did want to mention a little bit more about the Wildflower Celebrations Weekend Retreat. It's happening at the end of the month. The swag boxes are going to be shipping out, or I think it's the 17th of this month that we're shipping them out. We're going to have a total of 21 projects for you. The swag box will include a make and take packet for 15 of them. There are 6 that we're just going to have videos for, but you will be able to make them with the contents of your swag box. So it's going to be amazing. And like I said, we are including pillow gifts or happies, whatever you want to call them. And so I have been very happily working on them in the evening when we're watching TV. All right, my mixed media florals class, all the kits that were ordered went out. The PDF has been emailed out. I have 2 kits left. So if you are interested in a kit to make 8 cards using the mixed media florals, 2 each of 4 designs, link in the description. I have 2 kits left. I mean, but of course you can get the PDF forever, right? So there you go. Katie is excited for the weekend retreat. We are too, you guys. So if you didn't know, and if you aren't already a demonstrator, you should be, because becoming a demonstrator now is the best time. You get $125 worth of product for $99, and then you get to choose from 2 different options. You can either add on the handmade designs stamp set. This is a little tag that I made, and 2 sets of Stampin' Write markers. And these are actually, I did color on my rubber stamp with my markers to do this, so that worked out pretty good. It's a little image right there. Super cute. Or you can add an extra $30 worth of product. So you can add a $91 value here or $30 of whatever you want. But it's the best time to be a demonstrator, and I would love to welcome you to my team. I have a great team. We are stationed all over the country. The majority of my team members are hobbyists or discount shoppers, whatever you want to call it, gals that don't run a business. They just stamp because they love stamping and they want to get their products at a discount. That is the majority of my team. I definitely have gals that do classes. I have some gals that run clubs. So you can pretty much do whatever you want. And then, of course, myself, I am crazy. This is my business. This is what this is my business. But you don't have to do that if you want to be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. You can do whatever you want. You can simply just get your kit and just stamp with whatever's in there. You don't even have to ever buy anything if you don't want to. It's totally up to you. I would love, love, love to have you join my team. We've got my team meeting coming up next week. We always have a show and tell. We always have a monthly swap. We do a monthly mystery stamping, which is really fun. And I always have prizes for all these things. And yeah, it's just a ton of fun. I would love to have you join us. This is my host code for probably for the next couple weeks. If you do order in my online store and your order is less than $150 merchandise, please use the host code. That helps me to give away all the free things that I give away, all of the things that we give away for Stamp Happy Academy, just everything that we do. The host code really helps us. Now, of course, as you are aware, the host code is going to be going away sometime in April, from what I understand. And we're just going to make do with that, because you guys will get the rewards for your orders that are, like right now, you don't get the rewards, but you will get the rewards, and it's going to be awesome. And I'm super excited for you. So there's Joe. Welcome, Joe. So that is that. My gift with purchase is a different mixed media florals PDF. Yes, I have a class PDF. This is a different PDF. This does not come with the kit. And there's no videos. This is just written directions and dimensions and a supply list. But there are 10 amazing cards. So if you did get my mixed media florals class and you want to place an order in my online store, an order of any size will get you this PDF file. If your order is $50 or more, then you will also get this tutorial and that tutorial and a card kit to make the cards that I have here for you tonight. If your order is over $75, then you're going to get my my embellishment. All right. For those of you that have purchased something from my online store, or have purchased a class kit from me, or have purchased a PDF file out of my blog store, or purchased retired product from me, please go ahead and join my VIP Facebook group. There is a link in the description of this video. I do post lots of content, and I have prize patrols every month for people just commenting. All you have to do is just comment, and you go into the drawing for prizes. So it's pretty awesome. I still have some mystery grab boxes available. Link to my store is in the description of this video. This is my blog store. This is not Stampin' Up! Store. This is my blog store where I house all my classes, PDFs, retired items, and I do have a ton of free files on there as well. And then Stamp Happy Academy. I'm going to be live in Stamp Happy Academy tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 4 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 Central, 1 Pacific. If you are interested and if you are a Stamp Happy Academy premium or live only member, you can watch me create some fabulous projects for you tomorrow afternoon. All right, and adhesive kits, you can add those onto any of my class kits or purchase them outright, however you want to do it. Okay, so this week we are focusing on the With You in Mind stamp set, and my rhinestones are going to be my gift with purchase, and I left my Everyday Arches dies at my big Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I'll be right back. I'm also using the Everyday Arches dies, but I will die cut all of these for you if you do get a class packet from me for the cards this week. If you're just doing them on your own, then you will need the stamp set and the set of dies. You will need the stamp set to make the cards anyway, but if you don't get the kit, you're going to need the dies also. But if you do get the kit, I will die cut all of the arches for you. And then, of course, if your order is 75 or more, you'll get the rhinestones. Okay. So here is the pieces and parts for card numero uno. I need to sort them out here. We've got DSP, we've got cardstock, we've got more DSP, I've got a ribbon and an arch. Is that the right size? Yes. And then I have a little piece right here. So what we have for this card is, this is Lemon Lime Twist. This layer is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It's a quarter sheet of cardstock. This is also Lemon Lime Twist, and this is 3 1/4 by 8 1/2. And then I've scored it and folded it in half. This layer of white is a 3 by 4. That's going to go inside this little piece here. We've got some designer series papers. We've got this pattern here. Now these papers are all out of, what is this actually called? Friends of the Ocean designer series paper. So these are the fun patterns that you get in this package of paper. You get a lot of these fun sea friends, but then the back sides are just regular old papers that you could use, you know, with anything. And so I thought this you could pretty much use with anything too, just because it doesn't really scream like sea life. It's just some colorful starfish, which I think are pretty fun. And then we have this fun pumpkin pie checkered paper with this pattern here. We have this kind of fun, I don't even know what you'd call that pattern, but it's Melon Mambo, I can tell you that. And then, good Lord, why can't I get that to come out? Ooh, I hadn't even really noticed that piece before. So that's pretty fun. Every day you learn something new, right? And we've got some triangles, and then we have these pieces you can die cut with the dies that are in this bundle, but we're not using this bundle. We're just using the papers. And so, like I said, we've got a 3 by 4. This is the little starfish pattern. I also have a 2 by 4, a 1 by 4, and then I have a piece for the inside. This is a 1/2 by 3 that's going to go on this inside layer here. Okay. So our images that we're using out of the With You in Mind stamp set are the happy birthday and the little hearts. And that's all the images that we're using on this particular card. We're using Summer Splash, Pumpkin Pie, and Lemon Lime Twist as our ink colors. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my little guy here. What is that? My arch. And like I said, you will get the arch in your kit. If you get the class packet, you'll get this arch. And so we are going to use a couple of the ink colors to ink up our happy birthday. We're going to use the Lemon Lime Twist and the Summer Splash. So you can do this two ways. You can either mask off the word birthday if you need to, or you can just ink it up, because the word happy, there is enough distance between the happy and the birthday that if you just go right on the edge, you can ink up just the happy. And then I'm going to bring in the Summer Splash, and I'm going to flip my stamp over, and I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to get the word birthday. And as you can see, it's the same thing. The word birthday is just enough between the word happy that I'm not getting the word happy. But if you need to do it 2 times, you know, ink up the happy and then ink up the birthday, you go ahead. You do you, whatever you need to do. All right, and then I'm going to stamp this onto my, how fun is that? I'm going to clean this off because, of course, I need to put it away. Then we're going to bring in our little heart. And actually, I need some Melon Mambo as well. So I have all of my kits prepped and ready for Stamp Happy Academy. So I'm going to bring in a spot. I have a bunch of spots, different spots from different. I used to get Paper Pumpkin all the time, and I got a lot of spots from that. But we need to stamp 2 hearts in Melon Mambo. So here's one, and here is another. And then I'm going to clean the stamp off. Got my chamois over there. I'm going to spank it dry. Put that lid back on my ink. And then I'm going to bring out my pumpkin pie. And I'm going to stamp that 2 times also. Okay, so you'll get a scrap of white in your kit also. They do come in handy, Trish. Every so often I need to pull one out just for various reasons. Like right now when all my buckets are in another room, and it would have taken me, not that it would have taken me forever to go get them, but I don't know which bucket it's in. So I would have had to do some searching. So what I'm going to do with the, I'm going to cut all these out. Now, I'm not going to cut them all out for you here while we're live because that's boring, I feel like. But I'll cut out one just so you can sort of see how I do it. I am leaving a little bit of the border here. And I'm just going to trim around here. And for those of you that might be new or have never watched me cut before, when I do my cutting, my right hand simply opens and closes the blade. It does nothing else but open and close the blade. My left hand does all of the guiding. So my left hand is guiding my paper so that my scissors can cut it out. Okay, so I would do that with all 4 of them. There they are. Get that out of here off to the side. And then all we have to do is some assembly because this card is super simple. So I'm going to push those out of the way. So I'm going to bring in my 2 pieces of Designer Series paper. The larger one is going to go on this side. And I am just going to, now if you wanted to, you could have cut an entire 4 by 5 1/4 piece if you're a person that likes to get rid of your Designer Series paper, which I should be that person because I have a lot of Designer Series paper, but I still just can't do it. So it's like if I can save a little bit, I'm going to. So again, you could put the whole piece on there, but I just did it piecemeal and did it one at a time. So this is the 1 inch by 4 inch piece over on this side. This is the 2 by 4, and I'm just kind of lining them up so that I feel like I have equal distance on all 3 sides all the way around. And then I'm going to add the cute little starfish to the front of this panel here. And again, just trying to center it, getting equal distance all the way around. There we go. And then we're going to just glue this down. So I'm gluing it so that I have less space over here than I do over here, just because I think it looks kind of cool. Yes, and Mary says that's a good way to use up scraps, is to have these smaller pieces. Absolutely. Because, you know, we all get scrap pieces, so that is a great way to use those up. All right, so now I am centering this from top to bottom as well as side. Well, not centering it from side to side, but I'm just being mindful of where it is. Okay. And then this little guy here, I added my 1/2 inch by 3 inch piece of that pumpkin pie paper to the bottom. And then I stamped a couple more hearts in the Summer Splash and the Lemon Lime Twist. Sandy says they're having a lot of wind and they're supposed to get, what, 4 to 6 inches of snow on Saturday. That's So that's the most you've had all winter. We had a pretty good snowstorm earlier this week. I think it was Monday we woke up and we had about 8 inches on the ground. And then we got some more snow. I believe it was on Monday night. So thankfully my husband was off work those few days so that he could do all the shoveling, because I'm not a fan of shoveling. And if he's home, I'm going to let him do the shoveling. Okay. So then I have my little tag here, my label with my sentiment, and I'm going to add that to the front. But I do want to add some of these little hearts. You could just stamp it on there, but sometimes I feel like adding dimension to cards is just a really fun way to make it a little bit more interesting. So of course, like, you don't have to. You could just stamp this particular heart on there, but then we're also going to do something with the pumpkin pie. So, and I might just tuck that underneath, something like that. So that one's not popped up with the dimensional. So we'll just kind of tuck that under. And I am going over the edge, which I think that's kind of an interesting thing to do sometimes too. And then this little guy down here, I think I'm just going to add him. Well, I'm going to stick this on first, and then I'm going to figure out where I want it. So I'm going to add some glue, but I'm pretty much only going to add it in the middle because I don't want there to be glue on the outer edges at all and have it, you know, so the card doesn't open. And then I do have a little bow. You'll get some ribbon. This is the Summer Splash. And I tied a little bow. And I'm going to add the bow with a glue dot. And I'm just going to add that right up here. And then I have one more. Well, I have 2 more hearts, but I think I'm only going to use one. Well, maybe I'll use them both. What did I do with that other? Here it is. So I don't know. Does it look weird to have some more hearts like that? You guys tell me. Is this a yes, or is this a no situation to have 2 of them down here? Yes or no? Let me know what you think while I get the rhinestones out. And we're going to add some rhinestones to this card too. Oh, I'm not looking at the comments. DSP. Oh gosh, I know. Yes, we all have a lot of. Carol says yes. Mary says no. I guess I should ask, so 2 is bad, Mary? Or do you think just 1 is better? Let me know. All right, so while that's happening, I'm going to add some rhinestones. Ooh, maybe I'll add a rhinestone here on the tittle. In case you didn't know, the dot above an I and the lowercase j is called a tittle. We've discussed this before, but not everybody watches me all the time, so you might not have heard me say that before. But yes, that is a tittle. So now we have our tittle taken care of. I'm just going to put that right in the middle of that little starfish, and then I'm going to add another one right there. Okay, Francie says, no, you need odd numbers. That's what I was thinking. Joan says odd. A lot of you are saying yes. Well, you know, I do have another heart here, but I don't want to use it. I think I'm just going to go with 1. I feel like 2 is not right, but I don't know where to put it. Or should I stick it up here? Should I have a whole bunch of hearts up there? No, I don't like that. I'm just going to do it right there. I'm making an executive decision. I kind of was in agreement with the odd thing, that yes, you should have an odd number of things. So we're going to go with the 2. I know that's going to upset some of you, and I'm terribly sorry, but there we go. That's the final card. And then as we open it up, then we have a nice little area to write a note, or you could put a gift card in there, whatever you want to do. But I am having so much fun with these little gems, these Everyday Arches dies. They are so fun. You can even make them like their own card. So if you were to take this large die here and you had your card folded, well, here, we'll just sort of pretend that we're going to do it. And I'll share with you what my thought is. I need to find a piece of cardstock that is long, meaning it's cut the hot dog way. Oh, come on. There has to be one in here somewhere. Aha! Here's one. So this is a 4 1/4 by 11 piece of cardstock. And so I have just folded it in half. And so what you can do is you can take the super large die and you can put it just past the fold line. So you can see where it's not covering the fold. I guess on the back would be better. How it's after the fold. And if you run this through your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, you're going to end up with a card shaped like this that will open. So it'll be just like a card, but it'll be like an arch design, which is pretty cool. So that's something that I haven't actually made a card out of yet, but I know that you can do it. So I'm pretty excited to give that a shot. Okay, let's put these things away so that we can move on to our next project. We might need the glue dots. You never know, right? We'll probably need the glue. We'll definitely need those. We'll need those. Might need glue dots. I don't know. And I'm going to clean off this stamp. There we go. Okay. Second project. The second project is a book box. So I don't know if any of you have seen these book boxes before. Here is one that I made at Christmas time. Stampin' Up! Sells them in the catalog. They're super cute. They're super easy to put together. And they just open like a book. And then there's just a little piece of designer series paper in there. I actually used this one, and I gave one of my kids a gift card for Christmas. And the beauty of giving your kids things like this is you get them back. So I can use it again, or I can use it as a sample so I can remember like what size of papers and how I put this together and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to be making one of these. So if you do order your $50 from me, you are going to get a book box in your kit, and they are super easy to put together. This is the base, the piece that has this little flappy guy. This is your base. So you just want to go ahead and fold on all of the score lines, because it's easier to put together once everything is already folded and put, already scored together. And then this is the little box that's going to go inside of the book. So we can go ahead. Let's see. How does this go? It must go like this. And then these little tabs move in. And then we have these ends here. So everything is already scored for you. It's scored really nicely. And we're just going to put this together. So you're going to fold this, the sides up, put the tabs to the inside, and then we're going to remove the paper backing down here. And we're just going to push this down inside and press that together. I like to take my bone folder and go in there and really press it down good. And then we can come over to this side. We can do the same thing. Peel that little backing off, kind of square it up. You can see my thumb and my finger here are kind of squaring up the edge. And then I'm just going to fold this to the inside, press it into that corner, press it into that corner, and then use my bone folder to get it together. So simple to put this together. It's ridiculous. Then you can bring it in here. Actually, I'm going to wait because I'm going to put designer series paper on the front, and I want it to be flat when I do that. So make your tray, and then we'll work on the front. So for the front, we have a piece of designer series paper that is, where is it? This one. And this I took out of the super cute, what is this called? Cute as Can Be designer series paper. Now this is, we are doing the Meant to Be class. I forgot to talk about that at the beginning of the show here, but we're doing the Meant to Be class for our online class that the three of us do together in the month of February. So I don't even think there's a link in the description of this video for it. I'm going to put a link to this class registration in the description of this video after I get done. So in case any of you are interested in taking the class, you can certainly sign up for that. The kits will ship out at the end of the month. And we are using some of this so cute paper. I loved it when it came out in that last catalog when it was red, but I love it even more now that it is pretty in pink and petunia pop. Love, love, love this paper. It's so cute. So this is what we're using on the box. We're using a piece of this cute little floral pattern here. This is a 3x4. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my glue to the side that doesn't have the tab. Oops, I think I got a little tiny glue booger there. And I'm just going to add my glue here. And then I'm going to stick my designer series paper on. And then we're going to trim around the corners just ever so slightly. Because of course my designer series paper doesn't have rounded corners, right? So I'm going to find that fold line, I'm going to bump it right up to that, and then I'm just going to press that into place. And if you want, you can go on the inside and rub it. Okay. And then just take your scissors and just kind of cut around the edge. So just right around the little corner there. Looks like I got my paper slightly, like a smidgen too big, which of course is always better than too small because I can get rid of my excess here, right? Okay, so just those tiny little smidgies. And that is the front. So stinking cute. And then we have, where is I need a piece for this. This must be cardstock, right? So we have DSP on the front. Petunia Pop. Yes, I need a Petunia Pop cardstock piece. The Petunia Pop cardstock piece is a 1 by 2.5. Oh, I do have it. I was like, why don't I have that? I do have it. So my Petunia Pop is going to go right on the tab here. So I'm going to add a little glue right here on the tab. And I'm going to add my piece of Petunia Pop. You'll notice that I didn't actually put it all the way on yet. That's because I want to fold it. Oh, you know what? This might not even be long enough. What the heck? Who is designing these projects, for crying out loud? Where's my ruler? I thought it was 2.5. Maybe it's 2 3/4. Oh, yeah, it needs to be a little longer than 2.5. So that was my bad. So your piece will be the correct size. Looks like it's actually 2 5/8. So let me go ahead and cut a piece that is 2 5/8 by 1 inch. And we will start this process again. All right, so I'm going to add a little more glue here one more time. And then I am going to add my little strip here. There we go. That's better. Okay. So we have that added on to our tab. So I need to get that centered. It's all of a sudden like I can't see for some reason. Maybe because I need this to be on a darker color rather than there. Okay. So I only have that first part. So now I'm going to bend this, okay? Because now my cardstock, when it's bent, then it will fit better. So now I can come in and add the glue. Whoops. And then we can sort of kind of fold that a little bit over on itself. So it's not completely straight, but then it's not going to have any pressure on it to not stick. You know what I'm saying? Because now we have our fold line there. Okay. And then, again, we're just going to trim around. So just take your scissors and then just trim around the tab here. Pretty simple cutting, nothing too difficult. There we go. So there we have it. So that's what we have so far. So then you're also going to get another piece of Designer Series paper. This is the plaid, and this one measures 2 5/8 by 3 7/16. I know that's a stupid measurement. It is what it is. I don't make the rules. But that will then you can just plop that right in there. And then it will just stay. You don't even have to use glue. You can just shove it in there and it'll stay. If you want to use glue, you can, but I'm not going to. All right, so then I'm going to peel off the backing pieces here. And then we're going to place our box. So I don't know how you want to do this. I kind of like to look straight down on it. And I'm just trying to have it centered as best I can. And it's probably not going to be perfect, but we do the best we can, right? With our eyes that we're given. That looks like that's going to work. Okay, and then we press it down. So then we just have our little box in there. So cute. Now this does have a sticky tab, and if you want to use the sticky tab, you can. I don't like to. I like to have it be kind of a slide lock mechanism so that people can get into the box, and if they wanted to use it again, they could. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to leave mine, and I'm going to have it tuck under something instead of using the sticky tab, but you can use the sticky tab if you want. All right, so then we also need 2 of these arches. So this is the, let's see here. So the white one is the 3rd from the middle. So if you're looking at your dies, the white one here is the 3rd from the center. And then the pink one would be the 4th from the center. And the thing we used on the last card was the 5th from the center. Okay, so we're using 3, 4, and 5. All right, so then on this one, we're going to do a little bit of stamping. So I need my ink and my stamp. So I'm using the thank you stamp out of this set. And we're going to use Pretty in Pink ink. And we're just going to simply stamp thank you on there. All right, get it centered as best I can. I'll try that. Oh, Joanne said she used a little flat magnet. That's perfect. You know, I actually have little tiny Velcro dots too. I wonder if they're easy for me to find. They are not. I thought I knew where they were, but they're not there. So never mind. Okay. So then you're going to get, if you purchase the kit, you're going to get 3 1-inch punched circles. All right. So this is a scrap because we don't have this die anymore. So if you don't have a 1-inch circle punch, we used to sell them. We don't anymore. I do have a link to one in the description of this video if you want to get one. You certainly can. Otherwise, if you get the kit, you'll get it in your kit. You'll get these in your kit. And so what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to stamp. There's a little flower image in the stamp set. So we're going to be using that on these little circles. And I am going to stamp one of them in Pretty in Pink. And the circle is like the almost right perfect size for this flower. So if you kind of look through the stamp, you can see where you need to stamp it, and it works out pretty good. And then we're going to bring in some Petunia Pop, and we're going to do a couple of these in Petunia Pop. I need to scooch it down though just a hair so that it's right under my nose so that I can see. And whoops, that one might not be perfect. Oh yeah, it did turn out. They're actually all perfect, so I can see through that pretty well. Okay, let me clean these off. There we go. So we have these cute little flowers, and we have our sentiment piece. So slide those off. I'm going to add these two together, but I'm going to do it with some dimensionals just because we want to have a little bit of interest on here. So I'm going to do something like that. I always poke my fingernail into these, and then that kind of lifts up the backing paper, and I can get that torn off pretty easily. And I'm just going to layer these together, and then I'm going to add this to the front, and I'm purposely going to put these like this because I want my tab to be able to go up underneath, since I don't want to use any sort of a magnet or anything on this particular project. I am just going to add this to the front of the box. I'm trying to center it as best I can. Is that right? I think so. And then you can see this will just tuck right underneath there. So if you want to glue it down, you can, but you don't have to. The person can just pull the tab and get into the box, whatever you want to do that way. All right, so then we have our cute little flowers here. And I'm going to add a rhinestone to the center of each one. What am I going to use? I think I'm going to go medium sized. Just find the middle of each one of these, and there we go. Okay, and then I'm just going to add these just kind of wherever I feel like onto this. You know what I did? I think I screwed that up. I'm taking this off, and the reason I'm doing that is because I meant to stamp it over to the end rather than in the middle. So my sample one, you can see how it's just slightly farther that way. That's what I wanted it to be like. So I took that off, and I'm going to add this instead because I wanted to put my flowers kind of at the end. So I just cut my dimensionals with my scissors. They're still dimensionals there. I added some seal adhesive to them, and then it's still a little bit popped up. Not as much as it was, but it's still good. Then I can kind of add my little flowers here, sort of however I feel like I want to do that. If I want to do it underneath, or if I want to have them hanging off the edge, just however. So I'm going to start with this one. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to start with this one. And I'm going to stick it like right there. And then I'm going to add this one. And you don't have to put the flowers on. If you decide the flowers are too much, then you don't do it. But I just kind of thought they might be kind of fun. I'm actually going to scooch this over. At least I think I am. I'm going to scooch it over just a little farther. And then I'm going to add that one like that. Okay. So something like that. I don't know. There's something wrong here. What is it? Should that have been underneath? Are these too big? I don't know. But what I do know is what you can put on the inside of the box. And in case you've never seen this before, Hershey's Nuggets are the perfect little treat to stick inside these boxes. And so if you want, about 6 of them will fit really nicely. And you can take some paper. This is a 1x3 strip of another pattern in that paper. And so you could wrap every single one of these with this paper. And then you can throw a gift card in there. So this is a crumble cookie gift card, whatever. But the gift card fits in there perfectly. Money would fit in there perfectly. And then, so if you wanted to give a little thank you gift, you have just some really fun stuff to give. Some candies in there. Now, if you wanted to go all out, you could add a piece of designer series paper here and on the back. This would be a 3x4. This one would probably be, what is that? Like a 1x4, I'm guessing. Yep, like a 1x4. But I think it's just cute without having any extra paper on there. I think it's just fine. And then you have your little tab, and there it is. So you will get all the goodies to make this in your kit, including the box. So I hope you enjoy that. What else do I need to put away? I need to put that and that. Okay, some of this. All right, and then we will move on to our final project. I need some space. I'm getting crowded in by all my junk. All right. So the last project uses this beautiful vellum. If I can get all my stuff situated here. This is the Floral and Gingham Vellum Specialty Designer Series paper. So stinking cute. So you are going to get in your kit, you're going to get a card base of Pool Party. This is 5.5 by 8.5. Ooh, I see one of my team members on. Hello, Pat. Pat is one of my very special team members. Thank you for joining us tonight, Pat. The Pool Party card base, and then a 4 by 5.25 inch piece of white. Another one for the inside of the card. You're going to get 2 of these again. So this is number 4, number 5 from the inside. And you're going to get 3 pieces of this vellum. Okay. Each one of these pieces measures 4 by 1 5/8. All right. So we are going to, first of all, add our vellum pieces to our layer of white. Now, what I like to do when I'm working with vellum is I like to use liquid glue and a sponge to get glue on the back of these things. I guess this sponge will work. This is kind of an icky sponge, but I like to take a silicone mat, squirt a little bit of glue. There we go. Squirt a little bit of glue onto your silicone mat. I'm trying to swirl it around so it's not so blobby when we start this process here. Okay, so this is going to be one of my end pieces. Does it matter what side? Yes, it kind of does. So I guess be mindful of that. One side, when you stick it on your paper, is very vibrant. The other side is a little less vibrant. So the little less vibrant side is the side I'm going to add the glue to. So I'm going to add some glue to my sponge. And then I'm going to kind of tap it, rub it, whatever, onto my vellum. Because if you cover the whole piece of vellum with adhesive, it doesn't seem to show through. If you try to run like a bead of glue or use a glue dot or something, that's when you run into problems. All right, so we're going to put this so that we have about 1/8 of an inch showing on the edge, give or take. Okay, so we have that edge. Now we're going to bring our next piece, and again, I'm going to kind of lay it on here to see what side I get more vibrant. This doesn't seem to be quite as different. I feel like this side is less vibrant, so that's the side I'm going to put the glue on. So again, I'm just going to get some glue on this, and I'm just kind of rubbing it onto my piece of vellum here. And I'm trying to get the whole thing as best I can. I'm going to need some more glue for my next piece. And again, about 1/8 of an inch from the edge. And for some reason, this piece looks a little longer, but that's okay. Okay. And then finally, we'll get our centerpiece. Let's sort of see here what side looks. Ooh, that's definitely more vibrant. So we're going to stick it on like this. I'm going to add a little more glue here. Picks up some more glue. And I'm just going to kind of brush it onto the back of my piece of vellum, trying to get the whole thing covered. Flip it so I can hold on to that end as well while I am pushing more glue to the other end. Okay. And now this one, I'm just going to try to center right between these two pieces. So, whoops. Try that again. This requires a little concentration on my end. Okay, so there we go. And I'll bring it up close to the camera so you can sort of see that you cannot see, I mean, at least I don't think you can see. I can't see any of the glue through the vellum. So it's a really cool technique using that. So I did have, like I said, some of this is a skosh too long. And so I'm just going to trim off a little tiny bit where it was too long. It's just a smidgen, so you might not even notice, but I'm kind of anal sometimes, so I notice that stuff. Okay, so then I'm going to add this to the front of the card. Again, a super simple card, nothing to it at all. And you could use even just regular designer series paper if you don't have vellum. You know, you could do whatever you want. I think I want my flowers off to the right-hand side. All right. Get that set like so. Okay. And then for our label piece, I'm going to bring in my foam mat because the stamps are photopolymer. And we have Thinking of You and a little leaf piece. So I'm going to ink up the Thinking of You in Pool Party. So I'll just tap, tap, tap that into my Pool Party. Oh, there is a hair. Gross. Okay, and this kind of just fits perfectly on here. So I'm kind of looking to see if it's centered. I think it is. And there we have that. And then we need a scratch paper. There was some glue on that, but I didn't want to get on my project. And I'm going to add the little leaves in some old olive, kind of around my sentiment here a little bit. So this is also from the same stamp set. You get a little leaf also. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of stamp a leaf there. Stamp one like so. And then I'm going to come in over here and I'm going to stamp one. And then I'm going to stamp another one. So I just kind of have them on opposite sides, if you will. And then I'm going to bring in, this is Lemon Lolly, by the way. There's Lemon Lolly and Daffodil Delight in this paper or this vellum. But I just kind of felt like the Lemon Lolly was a little bit, since it was not quite so bright, so dark, that it just kind of had a little softer feel to it. And when, you know, you're sending a Thinking of You card, you don't want it to be like pow in your face. Well, maybe you do. I don't know. I always think of Thinking of You cards as a little more subdued, a little softer, that kind of thing. So that's why I went with the Lemon Lolly. And we are going to add these two together. I just love how these things layer. They're so awesome. There's like the perfect distance around these labels for layering. All right. Now we're going to add a couple more dimensional. So this is going to be a pretty well popped up card. Press my fingernail into the back to release the goodies. All right. And then we're going to kind of angle this just a skosh. And then I have a piece of white ribbon. So this is part of our Petal Pink and White 1/4 inch diagonal trim combo pack. And I've just tied a little bow here with that ribbon. And I'm going to bring in my glue dots. And I did try that little skinny Daffodil Delight ribbon we have. But again, I just wanted the softer feel on the card. And the Daffodil ribbon just seemed like it was too much. So I'm going to go with this. Let me just trim off the ends here. There we go. And then a couple of rhinestones. We'll add some bling, and then we'll bring in the middle, the centerpiece for the inside of the card. Where's my take your pick tool? Here it is. So I'm just going to go ahead and add, I think we'll go with small ones. I'm just going to add one to my label. And then I think I'm just going to add a couple right up here above my bow, just for a little bit of bling, not too much. All right, and then for the inside of the card, and I already can see I have smudge marks on it. What the heck? Anyway, you can see I took the leaf image and I just alternated my colors. I started with a tiny bit of Pool Party over here, then I did Old Olive, a Lemon Lolly, and then I just repeated the pattern all the way across. And I can totally see, where is my eraser? I must have had ink on my hand or something, because there are some smudges on this layer. That does not fly. So I'm going to use my ink eraser here. Luckily, these smudges are pretty light, and so I should be able to get them off, at least most of it off, and you won't even know that it was there. And I just like to take a little bit at a time, because you can, if you're not careful, you can go through your paper with these erasers. So I like to take, a couple of swipes, brush away the residue, a couple swipes, brush it away, just to make sure that I'm not getting too deep into it to where I'm going to actually put a hole in it. All right, so then we're going to add this to the inside. And what I love about this stamp set is that you can do this with multiple papers. Like, you could make these exact same cards using different colors, different papers. It's like these cards are not specific just to these colors or just to these papers. You could literally change them up so easily and make a multitude of cards using the same layouts. All right, so that is it for this Thursday Night Live with Barb. We have our 3 projects. We have our cute little box. We have our Thinking of You card. We have our birthday card. Such a cute stamp set. Shout out to my friend Julie. Love it so much. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Don't forget that if you place a $50 or more order in my online store between now and next Wednesday night, you will get a kit to create all of these cards with the die cuts. I will give you the die cuts as well, like I said, but you will need the stamp set to make the cards as I have designed them. If you don't want to get a kit, then you will need to get the Everyday Arches dies as well if you don't already have them. So thank you guys so much. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week and a great weekend. Super Bowl, I got to say, go Eagles. Just got to say it. I know a lot of you are KC fans. I get it, but I'm not. So go Eagles. All right, guys, we'll see who wins next week. See you guys then. Bye-bye.